Is Denis top 5 in the world? Can Genadi beat Denis? Am I going to arm wrestle? Lots and lots of interesting questions in this Q&A part 7. So let's start straight away. And thank you guys for asking these amazing questions. What do you fear the most in arm wrestling? Usually, I just look at the questions. When I see some interesting ones, I take screenshots and I read the questions and I answer. But this question got me thinking a lot and I still couldn't come up with any answer. So that's a really difficult question. But still, I would say if I ever compete or if I ever perform a job of a commentator, announcer, or doing something in press conferences, if I'm not able to perform well there, then that would be a nightmare for me. So that would be one of my fears. If I'm hired for a job for arm wrestling, commentating, if I'm not able to do that well, then that's a big fear. Second would be making mistakes. Mistakes that I could have corrected myself with some research or something I knew but I still said it incorrectly, then that's a disaster for me. I really fear those situations. If I don't know something and you guys teach me in the comments, then that's a fair deal. That's something that I don't have any problem with. But man, I cannot really think of anything. If you guys have noticed something that I fear in arm wrestling, please mention in the comments. Are you on bad terms with Engin? I've already answered that in the previous video, but to keep it short, no, I don't think I'm at bad terms with Engin. So everything seems to be good. Can we hope to see you someday at East versus West? Possible. I would say possible. Not guaranteed, but I think it's possible. If you can make one person an arm wrestler, who would it be? You guys ask a lot of questions in just one paragraph. Okay, I would say 2005 to 2008 version of Dalip Singh Rana, the great Kali in WWE. The man was a giant and over 7 feet tall, almost 400 pounds, jacked with no legs. Let that sink in. Almost 400 pounds, looked ripped with no legs. And when you see his fake WWE matches, he had that natural top roll going on. So I would say if you make the tables a little bit higher for him, he could have been a force to be dealt with in that time. Not now. Now he's really weak, but that version was a monster. Top 10 rankings, no, too big of a question. Ranking system, I would say point-based ranking system is best, because in this current system where if you beat someone who is ahead of you, you take a spot and that person drops one ranking, that isn't the best ranking system in my opinion. It's simple, everybody can understand this, but in that case, rankings would keep on changing every single month. They will never be stable. I'm not saying they should be stable, but at least for a small amount of time, small period of time, it should be kind of stable. And in this version, everything will keep on changing every single week or month whenever athletes compete. And that's not how it should be. If somebody dominates for a decade and he loses one match, immediately he goes down in ranking. I don't think that's how it should be. Next question. When will you be doing some more matches or tournaments? We want to see you pulling Pradeep. Okay, one more question like that. Are you ever going to actually arm wrestle or just spectate? I would say for me, it doesn't really make any sense to arm wrestle right now, because my whole focus, I also have a full-time job, so my whole focus should be on this YouTube thing. The more I work hard on this, the more the channel becomes bigger. It gets more recognition. You guys get more videos. Me training, I don't think I'm ever going to be a national level champion or something. So I don't really see any point of training, but yes, I have started training and maybe you guys will see me compete someday. Again, I competed in 2019. So I'll create a community post whenever there is a tournament or something around me. So I'll ask you guys, should I go there or not? If it was up to you, would you change something in the rules at the biggest arm wrestling events? And if yes, what exactly? It's really simple for me. 3 things and everything is solved in arm wrestling. And I don't know why the promoters are not doing that. It's simple. Like, everybody should get this point. First of all, don't say ready before go. Makes no sense, because the referees are forced. Referees are put under pressure by the athletes to say ready go instead of ready go, as it should be in the second case. But they cannot, because the athletes will be going at ready and there will be fouls. So instead of saying that, you can say ready, then the athletes get to the table, they take a grip and then say go, or get rid of the ready completely. It just doesn't make any sense. Second thing, false starts should be fouls, not warnings. If they are just warnings, why isn't everyone doing a false start? I wouldn't start one of my match without doing a false start if I ever compete. So that rule should be changed. And the third thing is, instead of having those hard concrete like elbow pads, have those squishy round elbow pads like WL used to have. Instead of ignoring significant fouls in the name of micro fouls, have those squishy pads that can absorb some movement in the vertical direction. So that solves the problem. I challenge any one of you to find one fault with these three changes that I've suggested. One fault, one thing that can go wrong with this. And if you cannot, then please suggest to the promoters. I will also do the same. Please suggest to the promoters to implement those things. Size of elbow pads. Angin did say that he is going to make the elbow pads bigger. Instead of 18 by 18, he made them 20 by 20 centimeter. He said it for the super heavyweights only, but then I think he went on to implement that for everyone. And I don't have a problem with that as long as it is fair for everyone. But don't go beyond that. 20 by 20 centimeter is already good enough, big enough. Veins and face-offs, one more thing. Veins are big hype material. They should capitalize on that. They should monetize on that. And the veins, especially at East versus West, are not professional. Bathroom weighing scales do not look professional at such big events. What are those weighing scales called? Maybe somebody can write it in the comments. They use them to measure or weigh vegetables and stuff here, where there is a big scale and the meter is kind of at a height. It should be both ways so that the audience can also read. Those kind of scales look professional, and veins should be done right around the press conference time in that same video where people can actually see athletes weighing in. That's how it should be done. Not weighing. I mean, my bad. Before you guys correct me in the comments, I know veins are one day before, but press conference, yeah, not my bad. I just made a mistake. Veins are also, press conference is also a day before. So I don't know how much of a difference there is, but still, they can do it somewhere around that time, maybe before press conference. I don't know, but the veins should be, maybe make a separate live stream for them. Ask the athletes to come downstairs or take a lift a couple of times that day. That's how it should be done, not behind closed doors. What's your top 3 arm wrestling events production quality? Whenever I think of production quality, I'm not taking into account the level of matches, because then nothing can touch East versus West. Nothing comes to close ever. But production quality, I would say the atmosphere, the lighting, the video, the audio, still, man, nothing has been able to match WL 406 till now. The level of production there was absolutely amazing. It felt like you're watching WrestleMania level of production quality. So after that, I would say East versus West. Pro Punjab League, amazing. You'll see it on TV in August. That will be amazing. So the quality is going to be amazing, and they always spend a lot of money in arm wrestling promotions. King of the Table. So I would say these 3 are premium. Kirsten Prodigy's multi-event was also really good. For a free event, for the first time event, I think they did the best job that anyone has ever done for a first time event. Hardanger Open was also good. There are many good production quality events right now. Do you think the arm wrestling popularity explosion is hitting a ceiling at the moment? It's a possibility. Not the ceiling, but I can see that the growth was like tremendous, exponential growth in the past couple of years after COVID. But right now I can see the growth has not stopped, but it may slow down a little bit. That's what I will say. It will keep on growing, but at a slower pace. Some relatively major sponsors in India, everything runs on sponsorships. YouTube runs on sponsorships in India because they don't really pay anything here. If you get 100,000 views on a video, you get like $50. So that's basically nothing. So everybody has to rely on sponsorships. And in India, there are multiple big companies for YouTubers that deal with such type of things. They'll find sponsors, they'll deal themselves, they'll take their charge and give you the remaining money. I think that's how it should be done for these bigger events like Angit Terzi's event or Core Sports. I think they were doing okay, but they also lost some sponsors. I don't know what the deal was. So I think they should hire some companies instead of trying to do that themselves. Not individuals, but companies who are professional at that. What do you think about Denis Siplenkov current shape? Is he top 5 in the world? So to know if he's top 5 in the world or not, I'll have to go to the world rankings to see how many guys from the top 10 he can beat. I got the rankings here. Number 10 is Vitaly Lalitin. Can Denis beat Vitaly? I don't think so. You may disagree, but I don't think Denis right now can beat Vitaly Lalitin. Dave Chaffee, there is a possibility. Yeah, maybe now, especially when people are saying Dave is really weak. I think Denis beats Dave Chaffee. Pradeep, what are you saying? Dave beat Vitali, and you are saying that Denis cannot beat Vitali, but he can beat Dave? Yeah, I think that's how it is going to work out. Vitali stylistically is really difficult for Denis Siplenkov. Revaz Lutidze, man, that guy is a monster. I'd like to see how he does in the straps against some worthy opponents, but it would be difficult at this point of time to say that Denis beats Revaz. I will go with Revaz. Artem Morozov, I think, although Morozov defeated Revaz, but stylistic thing, Morozov's top roll is not that great. He's going to fall straight into Denis Siplenkov's power. I think Denis got Morozov. And Morozov himself says that he cannot beat Denis. Prudnik, Denis beats Prudnik. Devon Ladd, right now, as of now, I don't think Denis beats Devon. In October, it can be different. Genadi Quickvinia, I don't think Denis beats Genadi. Jerry, I don't think Denis has that same hooking ability that once he used to have. I don't think he's going to be able to grab Jerry low and beat him. I think if he tries to top roll, Jerry may beat him. I will say Jerry is a slight favorite in that match. Hermes Gasparini, Hermes cracks Denis for sure. Levan beats Denis. So there are many guys who I think can beat Denis right now. I would say somewhere around top 5. Yes, that's a possibility. Realistically, I would say 5, 6 maybe. Maybe 6 or 5. Dadikyan versus Morozov left hand match should happen in East versus West. Because in King of the Table it was 6-round format, and that's why Morozov won with endurance. That's a really interesting thing, because Vitali versus Dave could have also ended differently. Vitali won the first 3 rounds. And I think you can run this match as many times as you want and it can be close. Dadikyan looked extremely dominant. People were saying that Morozov had some injury, that's why he couldn't really hook. He had to try to top roll, that's why he kept on losing the first 3 rounds. But I think Dadikyan is really that good. And yeah, it can be different at East versus West. But since this match was not that popular, not everyone is Devon who can demand rematches at the same moment as soon as the match is over. So that's why we haven't seen the rematch yet. Maybe we'll see next year, but it looks like difficult. I wouldn't personally have that rematch or want to see that rematch right now, just because there are many other things that need to be cleared out in that left-hand super heavyweight division. Nothing is cleared there. Is Larry and his brand still a part of King of the Table? I have asked this question to Larry and Adam Silver, and let's see if anybody wants to reply to that question. Usually people tend to avoid these type of questions. Till now, I haven't got answers from them. And so far, they both have replied to everything that I've asked them, every single one. So if this time they don't reply, maybe they miss it. I don't know. How do I find local clubs or tournaments? I have no idea if I'm any good or if I'm going to get trashed. Armbet, bro. Armbet. Sometimes we just assume that if new arm wrestlers are joining arm wrestling, they must know about armbet. But no, it is our responsibility to teach them. Or somehow try to find a local puller in your state. Find a local puller who is really famous and he'll hook you up with everyone. He'll give you the numbers of everyone if armbet doesn't work. What do you think Denis can beat Genadi? As of now, today, I don't think he can. Genadi is way too aggressive. That's the word I would use. And I am not sure if Denis is ready yet to deal with that kind of aggression, that kind of explosivity, flop press, hook, top roll. Genadi cannot top roll Denis, let's be honest, but hook and flop press or inside press. I don't think Denis can deal with that as of now. So I will say Genadi Quickvinia beats Denis Siplenkov. Thanks for watching. If you end up liking the content, please subscribe and I'll see you again.